Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. Today I just am going to be talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. The market is currently dumping, so where do I see Bitcoin and ETH? Obviously the leaders for crypto. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. So this is the BTC. I'll just go ahead and actually change the pair. Okay, so this is BTC USD on the 1 week. What we're seeing right now, we're seeing some ugly weekly candles, and if it closes like this, it's not very bullish, obviously. High sell volume coming in right now. Is this the top? I mean, it's certainly possible, of course, but that said, there are some. I still feel this is bullish, and the entire market structure is still bullish on high time frame charts. And I mainly say that because we are seeing higher highs and higher lows. And I just made a Twitter post about this as well. But you can basically see all of these highs and all these lows be bullish, in the sense that this is a higher high being formed every single time, and these are so far higher lows. So until this 43K area gets broken, I am still going to be bullish because it's still a bullish market structure. Now you can look and see on lower time frame charts to see when the market structure really starts to change. And right now there are some concerns in the sense that there's very high sell volume coming in. This is never really great to see. And generally speaking, you will see this come at the end of a trend. However, I don't really feel that we've seen this parabolic top yet. Generally the top of a market cycle is usually a big parabolic blow off top. And I don't feel that we really saw that here. We didn't see really strong volume. We didn't really see a really big break past the former highs at 47K. So for instance, if you look back to old market cycle top in 2017, you saw this big wick, basically this one daily candle that basically took us from 14K all the way up to 20K. And that's just like really obscene overall in terms of the volatility. We haven't seen anything close to that today or recently for this recent price action. And after you see this big wick right here, you'll often see price grind back up. And this was back in obviously 2017, where price had the cycle top at 20K. So you can also see this as well with YFI. So check this out here. Like, you'll see this big wick here, this big blow up top in late August. Price pulls back, and then it has one last exhaustion pump where it's just blowing up on very low volume, and then it just starts to die. So I'm looking for one of the two types of price action patterns with Bitcoin. I haven't seen that big wick yet, where this goes, 30% in a day or something like that. Usually indicative of a cycle top, or we haven't really seen this. This could have been the slow grind up that we saw similar to YFI, but I personally still am very, very dubious on this being the top. I still think that this is going to break 64K in the coming weeks or so. Again, it's still just a bullish market structure. There is high sell volume, which isn't very good, of course, but it's still a high time frame market structure. And until these lows break, then I am going to assume that this is just going to keep going higher. Now we are seeing again high sell volume, and the EMAs are starting to turn bullish on the 4-hour, which is never good to see. But I would like to see price hold above this 4-hour 200 EMA, but let's see, again, I'm targeting kind of this 48K area as the first area up. And let me go ahead and clear this chart. So the last area that we saw as support, at prices currently bouncing off as support, this 50.9K area. This is the first level up. After that, I mean, if you look at volume profile, there is a lot of volume transacted around 48K and 49K. This is kind of like my area, the next area up. This is like a high volume node area, and these areas should provide support if price gets there. I mean, if you look just simply at SR levels, it's kind of hard to find good levels in these, when you see very choppy price action, like for instance, this entire area from basically 44 to 50K. It's hard to find one specific level or even a few levels in a certain area. So personally, I am viewing that 48K area as support based on the high volume node that we are seeing, kind of 47 to 48K. That's going to be the next level up if this current level breaks down. This is, and you can see this high volume node here. Again, these high volume nodes usually act as support and resistance levels. And right here, we're seeing this high volume node at 51K hold as support. So this right now is the first level up. I think that averaging into a position right now is still a fine idea, and I would continue to buy all the way down to 48K. If 44,000 gets lost and 43,000 gets lost, I am going to consider changing my bias to short-term bearish, and the overall market structure on the 1 day would be starting to flip bearish, in my opinion, if the lower low comes in. But we're still several levels away from that, in my opinion, so let's go ahead and see what happens. But total summary is I still feel that Bitcoin will hit a range. What I'm personally looking for is Bitcoin to basically go and form a range between somewhere, let's call it maybe 47K. And there might be some inefficiencies to clearing up here. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the TPO chart or anything like that recently, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Bitcoin form some sort of range. I don't know where this range will be. It's not going to be all the way up to 61, I don't think. It'll be lower. But, and this could be just me being biased because I still believe that altcoins will have another run. But it wouldn't surprise me at all to see something like this. And form some sort of range, and altcoins will run again. But in my opinion, Bitcoin still has to find a bottom first. And this bottom, in my opinion, will hopefully be 47K or around there. I don't want to see price go down to 43 or 44. That would be not so good. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Bitcoin. I think that it finds a bottom soon. This current area is technically support right now, around 51K. It has a lot of confluence in regards to the volume profile and the overall EMAs. I mean, the 90 EMA is coming up right now. I'm sorry, the 50 EMA on the daily is coming up right now too. So a lot of other indicators you can use too. This is the first level up though, so let's hope that this area kind of holds as support, and if not here, then 48K. ETHUSD, this was my fib area, and price looks to be heading lower. I mean, this is going to follow Bitcoin as it normally does. This will probably go, if Bitcoin prints another leg down, then I project 1370 will probably be the next level up. And that's the level I would target first up. Simple SR flip. I mean, if you look just straight up at the level, this is resistance over several days, and it should be like another area of support. But What you don't want to see basically is something like a small bouncing rubber ball effect where you get weaker and weaker reactions. That would not be good in my opinion. But overall, still a bullish time frame or high time frame chart. This one looks less bullish though than BTC simply because it made a lower high on the daily. It's still a higher high, or I'm sorry, a higher low, but this high recently made on March 14th was not did not break the February 20th high. So whether or not you like to use wicks or bodies, I mean, this was still a lower high created. So that's something to observe for ETH. And it will make me reconsider too overall, like my overall bias, because I still felt that this was going to hit, 2,500 or something like that. We'll see. I'm still cautiously bullish on this overall. I mean, it's doesn't look great on the weekly, to be frank and honest with you, and maybe this cycle is getting close to being done. I can't honestly say, but to me, Bitcoin is still in a bullish market structure, and I feel that this is still going to follow Bitcoin as well. But again, could be biased. I must check my bias every single day and analyze these charts and just take it level to level. So those are my thoughts on Bitcoin and ETH. I'm probably going to do a video on this later on, but I also wanted to just give you guys some tips when the market is dumping like this. Number one, I'll just write some of this out. So like, don't use high leverage in these situations. Obviously, things can go very badly when it's very volatile. And I think it's better to usually just lower your leverage unless you're an experienced trader. Always make sure that you zoom out and scale in. So again, it depends on strategies. Zooming out will give you the observation that this is a high time frame market or bullish market structure, and that you will see that this is still bullish. So you don't have to auto short everything or start auto shorting every single bounce. And scale in. So most traders, and again, it depends on your strategy. If you are a scalper, then you are not going to really scale in. You'll probably just you'll need to be more accurate because you're working with lower time frame charts and smaller profit targets in both directions. In my opinion, the better way to trade most coins in these situations is just to scale in, meaning do some of your buy now at a certain support level, some of your buy later on, and you can always add more on the way up as well. So for instance, here is a chart of THETA, and I always like to do THETA just because it's such a bullish chart in general, and it's such a bullish coin. I used a fib. This fib looks okay for now. I had a better fib before, but anyways, this is just like a quick one. So what am I trying to say in terms of overall entries? I'm basically trying to say that you should scale in overall. It depends on your strategy. So if you want to have a scalp at the 618 fib, you can do all of your buy here and target 1155 and 1239 or 36. That's like a totally valid trade. If you are doing more high time frame swing trades, then I would basically just put part of my order in here, save some of my order here, and also leave a third of it at least to add on the way up if it starts going up. But for all coins, it's very environmental specific, meaning if Bitcoin is dumping, then all coins are generally always going to dump as well. And it's better to be safe and cautious and scale in for a swing trade for your altcoins when the market is dumping. So I personally like to just average in. I learned that over the years that it's better just to average in instead of just going all in on one order. Generally, price will go lower than you think it will, and you will. Patience usually almost always pays off. So make sure that you guys are doing those types of strategies, depending on, again, your trading style. If you're a scalper, then you might not use any of this advice, and that's totally okay. But make sure that you guys lower the leverage unless you are an expert trader, and you guys bid lower than you think, and just be patient. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Good luck and stay safe.